Hi guys, Crolister here with part 5 of the Pac-Man World Re-Pac playthrough series. Continuing on from the previous episodes, we are now going to do the factory area. These stages are not for the weak. So, let's get started, beginning with Perilous Pipes. You see these, welder-like robots? I hate these guys so much. They're very annoying to deal with. Your best bet would be to approach them carefully and throw a pack dot at them, as opposed to trying to rev or bounce them, since they flip their weapon and are very easy to run into on accident. It turns out that platform wasn't useless or randomly there after all. There's a lot of waiting you have to do in the factory stages as well, which, you know, waiting for stuff is never fun. The magnet robots that carry boxes will drop their boxes once you get close enough to underneath them. And without the box, they will thrust downward and try to impact you with their magnet strike. Get out of their way once that happens. Then after they drop, you can jump on and safely stand on them. You gotta do that a lot in Perilous Pipes. You know how some people in, like, shooter games shoot along with the music? That's what I was doing with pacing Pac-Man from side to side. We got another tricky leap of faith here. I remember in the original PlayStation game, this part with the ghost zone. In the back, there was a pit with some random pistons in the background. I actually tried to land on and stand on one of those pistons playing that game once, and I think I succeeded doing it once. Of course, they have a solid wall there in Re-Pac now. If you rev roll in a place where you didn't intend to do so, you can cancel it by jumping before you release the roll. The steam emissions will hurt you, as will contact with the heated pipes. Well, at least we have a heal 1 right here. In the original game, this was a temporary switch that would only momentarily stop the steam emissions here. In this game, though, it's a permanent switch. For whatever reason. I didn't mean to get the heal all. Not that it matters. I think your health recovers after a maze anyway. I'm not entirely sure. For the factory mazes, you gotta watch out for the steam emissions. If you're zooming out so you can see where all the dots and ghosts are at once, it can be hard to see the steam emissions. Just remember that they have a warning sign to let you know just before they blow the steam. I'm focusing more on survival than score. Come here, fatty. There. Here's a slightly tricky part where you have to let the magnet robot come downward and then jump on it as it lands to get some items that you'll activate with the switch. Ha. Nice try. You can bounce up slopes instead of rev rolling up them. Wow. The platform behind me was stopping my Pac-Dot attack. That's not good. Massive rev roll fail. I'm gonna have to bounce. Ow. Like I said, I hate these guys. I'll deal with him later. That's fair. Ow. I actually didn't see the wall explode while recording this video, so I wasn't sure if I activated the spot I had to go in order to get the final letter. Come here, fatty. Alright, now, compared to how easy the bonus stages were up to this point, this is where they kind of start to get hard. You gotta maneuver around stovetops and magnet dropper robots, being careful not to get crushed by them. And you gotta quickly activate these blue switches to activate a pack.chain at the end. This one is actually pretty tough. And while the bonus stages are actually optional to finish, doing them right obviously gets you more points, which is important for the whole game. I got a minor match with the Peach. Not bad. Alright, moving on to Under Pressure. Possibly a musical reference. Another one of my favorite games, Crash Bandicoot Warped, also has a level with the name Under Pressure, interestingly. Dang welder robots, I hate them. I'm getting that heal one. That's the problem with the factory stages. You have to do a lot of waiting for the moving platforms. I just got a cherry spawning right over top me. And then a pack.chain here. I'm gonna have to wait, though. There's a ladder behind these boxes. Talk about well hidden. I'm gonna make good use of this bomber. One of them turned into a bananas. Nice. That yellow switch makes the piston platform behind us go a bit higher, leading up to an extra life. Wait while I show this. I kinda got confused a little bit myself, as you can see. So that one's basically optional. We gotta move across some conveyor belts with steam emissions and drills up ahead. The pipe at the end would blow their steam continually in the original PlayStation game, not alt on and off like it does in this game, for some reason. If you're going for all of the letters like I am, keep in mind that there are some letters that you can lose, and some that are located in places you can't return to later. That made me lose 4 pack dots. That's not such a big deal compared to missing a bonus letter. Right down the middle. They added some terrain underneath this robot there, in case you fall off. That wasn't there in the original game. We got some metal enemies here. The boxes dropped by the magnet robots also now have items in them. Like that one had a heal all. Another one from Perilous Pipes had a slot medal. It also kind of looks to me like in mazes where the ghost zone is like in the middle of the maze instead of one of the sides. They always come out on the left side. That's another extra tip you could have for how to survive mazes that I didn't mention in any of the previous episodes. What I find peculiar about Re-Pac is that in the original run of the game, they had a remix of the music theme for Under Pressure, and then in a patch, they replaced it with the original PlayStation song. I wonder why they did that. They also reversed the keys of the songs for Corsair's Cove and Crazy Cannonade in a patch. The same patch as well. So they matched the keys of the original recordings from the PlayStation game. The original recording for Corsair's Cove is supposed to be the song that plays on the congratulations screen after you just beat the game, is what I specifically mean. The robot sharks you see here move back and forth within the tunnels and can corner you easily. They just move back and forth, not chase you. And you can bounce on them while you're metal in order to destroy them. You have to bounce like right on top of them to make the hit count though. Give me a moment. This is where I need to go. Come here, fatty. Come here, fatty. You know what's funny? In the original Pac-Man world, this is like the main reactor silo to the factory, and activating that switch causes it to overload, and causes the factory to start to crumble apart. Which I think is the reason why the Down the Tube stage is, like a destructive version of the factory being destroyed with sludge everywhere. In this game, though, they just show, the silo changing a route and starting to blow steam. Come here, fatty. Here. Minor match on the Peach again. We've exceeded 600,000 points in total. Nice. Down the Tubes is definitely one of the most tedious of all stages in the game, and I tend to screw up and fall into the sludge at the very beginning of the stage. This recording was no exception. These platforms tilt as you move on them based on your weight. You got a tricky rev roll jump and some tricky trampoline jumps here. The stage doesn't look nearly as post-destructive in this game as it does in the original PlayStation game, like I talked about earlier. There are some parts still where cogs fall from the ceiling. Now, while using a metal dot can be useful to protect you from the welder robot there, they added magnets that travel along the ceiling in this part, which can stun you if you get underneath them. Like, alright, that metal dot just deliberately chased after me unintentionally. Yeah, that's real fair. And the magnets act like they did in Krome Keeper's stage from the original game. So you gotta be careful about using the metal dot there. This stage traumatized me into recording for some reason. Because I just was reckless around the steam emissions. Seriously, right there, it got me. Now that's stupid. I have to replay that later anyway. I'll just down the middle this one. They just have stationary platforms instead of moving platforms there for some reason. Might not be the smartest idea because there's magnets here. We go there later. This stage would be a lot more difficult in the original PlayStation game since metal dots were single use, whereas in this game they respawn after they wear off. We got some narrow platforms along sludge and pits here. I'm gonna need that heal all, for sure. The robot sharks also move from side to side underwater, as in if you move forward or backward, not up or down, as you do, which can make them even harder to dodge. Had I not killed those welder robots there, I could have gotten some more bonus food items. I'm being a bit hasty about the metal dots, mind you. There's where the key is. We gotta activate the switch in order to reach where the sun is, though. No rev roll jump required to get the power palette in this game. Alright, now pardon me while I cut out some Metal Dot stupidity up ahead. I completely forgot there's a Metal Dot in this very part here. There's just a robot shark guarding it, is all. There we go. Dang, that stage is long. So with this, we move on to the factory area boss, the Krome Keeper. It's easier and funner in this game compared to the original title. You know how in the original Pac-Man World, if you beat Marathon Mode, you're given this art gallery? The art gallery made it look like the Krome Keeper fight was going to be radically different from the crappy battle that it had in the original PlayStation game, with a lot more conveyor belts, and the robot having more attacks. It kind of looks like in Re-Pac they made Krome Keeper be more along the lines of what they originally intended this boss to be. After taking down a third of its health, it adds rocket launchers. The wooden crates can contain various items, including health pickups. Try to go for them. Just keep your distance from the bomb boxes. And after you get a metal dot, watch out for the magnets. You see what happened? I wasn't paying attention to my surroundings. There are also steam emission boxes. And cogs can fall from the ceiling. After hitting him once, you can hit him again almost immediately after he gets back in the stance. You can afford to take some damage to the heated pipes if you have full health. Just so you can take him down quickly. Now we got razor blasters. You are out of here. There's no way I'm gonna be able to get that peach. Yeah. The original PlayStation boss was a nightmare at best. Having to maneuver around magnets to flip on the heated switches before they run out in order to inflict damage, and he also had 8 hit points instead of 6, so, you know, they definitely made him a lot more convenient to fight against in this version of the game. After completing the funhouse and factory completely, any percent, you unlock the boss mansion area. To wrap up this episode of the play, though, we're going to do the factory mazes. I give the same advice in every video. Unlocking the mazes is best if you focus on survival instead of score. You can always go for a higher score with the ghost chaining later if you wish. Power pellets make you invincible even to hazards. Remaining lives are not deducted from your main game if you mess up any of them. And you have an instant respawn, so you can continue with the dots you have left to go, just like with the original game. The ghosts reverse their direction after eating a power pellet, and then after the power pellet wears off. And there are no bonus food throughout the entire maze. So with that wraps up the factory area. Up next, we will do the final area, the boss mansion area. Talkman, I see pain in your upcoming future. Your very near upcoming future. So until then, or until my next upload, I am Krolister. Thanks for watching, and see ya.